Our next presenters will give us sort of a double-barreled approach to things, to two different items that are of interest to a lot of you and will be more so once you find out about them. Walter and Sheri Kaplanski from New Lenox, Illinois, are the representatives in this country for Major Gordon Smith of Somerset, England, who has charge of the Mapperton Trust, which is engaged in radionics research. And there's going to be an offer made free to all of you who want to partake in this. And I know they're ready to explain that and how you're going to be able to get in on this if you want to. And as well as that, Sheri is a gifted, I don't know whether psychic is the right word, a gifted intuitive on the keyboards that can play your aura on the keyboards. Some of you have heard it already and told me how beautiful it really sounded when you were back there. She will play a combination this morning of your auras. Can you please cut the camera because it took a while to get them out here. Can you stop the camera? Sure. Okay. I was saying Sheri is a gifted intuitive in the area of music and will be playing on the keyboards to the this is my terminology, to the tune of your auras, or our group aura of the group. We need lights out in the back too, please. So without further ado, when she gets the speakers positioned,
I want to move this up just a little bit so the people over there can see me and I can see them.
Okay, we need a couple of staff people up here. Maybe I can, but you got to get a hold of the bottom of this, right?
Yeah. And just bring it forward.
Do you want a chair up on the stage? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Steve. Okay, now is the time to give them a Global Sciences welcome. First time here, Walter and Sheri Kaplanski, please.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is it for us. We're here presenting for the first time. And Sheri and I have combined our efforts for many years. Since 1966, we've been together. And we've studied in every single aspect as beginners, mystery schools, and my background has always been initially in the sciences and research.
And art.
And art.
He's a fabulous artist.
I'm a gallery artist as well. She told me to make sure I tell everybody. The point here being, we're introducing something unique in regards to our with our presentation, and that is an awareness that some of you have a slight happenstance of something that has happened to you that's unusual, and you can't put it all together. Well, when you're working with subtle energies, such as radionics, things do happen over time. and there's a gate that opens up. Now, Sheri's gate is the music. Now, another thing that Sheri has done, she's been with the Dolphin Society as well and various other organizations. She's a hypnotherapist, by the way. And in essence, we both balance each other. And in doing this, she balances me more because at one time I was more left brain. But I'm here today because of the fact that she bailed me out of a serious condition, which Radionics has helped tremendously. And I have RSD, and I was on 12 of what's those horrible drugs? Vicodins. And I don't need those things anymore. I still, I'm with the Excedrins. But other than that, there have been other people that have come into our lives in respect to working with these subtle energies. And being here representing Major Gordon Smith, I have brought here a little summary that he asked Sheri and I to give, especially to those who are new to radionics. At this point, before we go to any greater, how many people are new to radionics that are here? Just a very little. All right. So, Gordon has, how would you say, pioneered in Europe radionics. He's pumped in, that word is terrible, I know, millions of dollars to keep it alive in Europe. And if it's being kept up somewhere, it's going to be kept up eventually everywhere, and that is our hope. Now, Dean was talking about a special thing that we have, Gordon had asked me to present to everyone here that's present, and that is this. For a temporary time, since these are all ongoing studies, free of charge, anyone that signs up will receive the radionic transmissions. The paperwork that we have, it'll be a sign-up sheet. And basically, you'll be contacted and with a little list of what you need to supply. Okay, now these type of things, when you do it on the basis of research, to document, to make sure that you give to the world exact facts. So more than likely a little bit a history file of yourself will probably be needed. So if you're willing to do that and receive some free transmissions after this program, you can sign the sheet and then you'll be contacted. Now, how's that sound? All right, thank you. Now, one of the things that I dislike doing immensely, and I did this to one of my college professors who used to read, and I darted, had the front seat, and looked in his eyes because he did this all the time. But being that I was asked to do this, he specifically wants me to read something to everyone, if you will. The history of radionics, and that's what all this is about, but we're going to go a little bit deeper than that. The principles of radionics were first discovered by a distinguished American physician, Dr. Albert Abrams, born in San Francisco in 1863. Many of you know this, by the way, right? Right? Say yes, please. All right. So therefore, Dr. Abrams took his medical degree at Heidelberg, graduating with first-class honors and the gold medal of the university. He went on to become one of America's leading specialists in diseases of the nervous system, a respected teacher and writer of medical textbooks. And that's quite an accolade. And I think the suggestion here is, at this point, is we're establishing someone's credentials, aren't we? And that's what we've always been doing at this present time, establishing credentials. During Doing a percussion of a patient's abdomen, Dr. Abrams observed a dull note, which could not be explained by the existing knowledge of anatomy and physiology. He found that this dull note was obtained in different places according to the disease the patient was suffering from. It was later found that the same dull note was obtained when a healthy person held the relative type of diseased tissue. Got that? Okay. Abrams therefore concluded that each disease issued some form of energy vibration peculiar to itself. Abrams had some difficulty in distinguishing between the two particular diseases, but solved this by establishing a wiring circuit into which he introduced a form of resistance. Abrams taught his new system of diagnosis to doctors from all over the world in 1924. And here we are at this time, and we're still doing it, thank God. Now, Ruth Drown, American chiropractor, carried on Abrams' work, and of course, the ones here that are aware of that are for the better. We at this time are working in radionics and finding out, especially I believe with a lot of you here, that our consciousness is rising. And our consciousness is rising at many levels. For instance, as an example, when you do something with this, like for instance, I was working with the BioRon as an example. I went down to the back of the yard late at night, no moon, and being happy and jovial. This is one of those frolicky situations. I said to Sheri, that fairy circle we have in the backyard, I'll just go in there, make one pluck, and I'll pull out a 4-leaf clover. I didn't even know there was a 4-leaf clover in there, so I went over there. Remember, intent. Went over there, took one swipe, came up the deck. It's still dark, no lights. 80 feet later, in the house, and there's a 4-leaf clover. Okay? There were no second thoughts. Remember the second thought issues in regards to working with your mind. Now, radionics. When the first year I met Gordon, I had all these high-tech little gizmos in my pocket, you know. This one, this one, this one, this one. So I walked into his room, and I was checking the wiring, whether he had correct wiring in his room. Of course, one lamp was not. It was registering that it was burning irregular and there were emissions coming off. So I told him about it, and he did something that didn't register at that. Remember, I'm a rookie at this, right? He did something that didn't register with me at that time, and that was this. He said, go try it now. Bada bing, bada boom. Nothing. Irregularity, all gone. Okay? Now, that's an insight. When you use the term radionics, I started thinking about this. Time goes by. You know, you start elevating yourself and start thinking more. You become less technical, more intuitive. Guess what happens? Boy, the goodies start coming at you. So, with this, I looked and I questioned Gordon. Gordon, how come you have your units that are computerized and yet they're not dial-up units like everybody else's? And he said that he has pre-programmed the love emotion and all the other modalities in it. You can't undo it. It's there. can't change it, and it's the primary signals, values that are in there that you actually need, and that's it. Well, when you consider the dial-up units, a strange occurrence happened. A friend of mine gave me an awareness of his unit, and that was this. And this is for all you practitioners. And it goes something like this. I am I'm sending a transmission to someone, and they had a spider bite. At the same time, my subconscious, remember these are the levels that you're working at, real high-tech energies, subtle energies. My subconscious says to me, gosh, hey, you remember when you were bit by that spider and you were sick for 3 days, real bad? What I just sent to my subject. Right. So there's some things that you have to watch out for. Another thing. Are you thinking clearly every second of the day? Is your mind your own? Are there other issues involved? Are you pure at heart? Consider this. I'm an alchemist also. I did this 3 times now. I clear my laboratory. I walked in there mad 3 times. The 3rd time was the biggest whopper of them all. Because when I walked in that lab mad, all the glassware, beakers, condensers, everything started exploding all over the place. I mean, glass flying everywhere. It was a sanctuary. I had another mistake I made. You don't let anybody in with negative emotions into your field when you're doing and working at a high energy level. So I had salts that I had purified, and they were still cooling off. A negative person came in, half the salts turned black, and they were white. You see? We are now at the position of, I spent some time with Preston Nichols in his magic bus. And we turned on a radio station. It was a Cincinnati baseball game. He showed me all these things. Next thing you know, bam, boom, 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 boom. He says, here's 5 more signals. But I'm listening to a baseball game. He's got scalar waves coming in. You've got, what's that wild one from Alaska coming in also. You know the name. So, and you got other signals, 2 military signals coming in. And you're listening to this. You turn on the radio every single day, you're in your car, and what are you getting? I don't know. It's all going in your subconscious, right? Because you didn't hear it. Is your mind your own? You have to clear. You have to meditate. You have to consider these things. How much time? I got to give her time. Okay. Anyway, to this, you get this expansion of consciousness, and it rolls along through you into many different fields, not just the fields that you're working in, but on a daily basis. And what is the primary motivating signal that you're getting all the time, free of charge? It's the love signal from out there. It's all around us, free of charge. It's coming in. Utilize it. But don't, when you work with it and you apply it to other things, don't misuse it. Now we have misuse, don't we? At high subtle energies. I talked to a man who misused it. People who misuse these energies get hurt too. The worst thing you can do, and the worst case scenario was the man died of a broken heart, self-imposed. So, I showed off one time. What happened to me? hey, nothing was happening. No telekinesis, no moving this around, no telepathy anymore. None of that. I didn't do anything that bad. But the person almost committed suicide because I showed them something that was so off the wall, right? Queer to everybody, that it hurt. Their consciousness could not take it. All of you here have come at this present time to 1 year gathering to gather up your energies. And when you leave here, the great work starts again until we meet again. And this is because your consciousness is expanding at all levels. Now, going back to Gordon. Radionics works in the energy fields, which exist behind all forms. It can be used to provide energies to correct dysfunctions in the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Didn't we just talk about that? It is totally non-invasive and does not react with other forms of medication. It can be used to advantage with orthodox Western and unconventional medicine. As radionics deals with energy, it can be practiced at a distance. Yeah, of course. And many practitioners have patients overseas. Tangent on this one. When I first started, this was a hard one for me to swallow. You mean Tommy on the other side of the ocean, he's going to get this signal? Yeah. Get out of here. Guess what, folks? Consciousness, subtle energies, love, emotion. Gordon told me something once. I had a hard time biting into this stuff, you know, rookie. He said, there's all kinds of love. The first love is you love yourself, you love another fellow human being, you have a wife, you love your community and all the people there, you love your country and all the beings there, you love the world and all the people, you love the world and all the people and all the beings that are there, animals, insects, minerals, trees, everything. Guess who's got consciousness? All of them do. Guess who communicates with these guys on occasion? I do. They let it happen. That's when I'm cooking, you know. Next one. How the heck can you have universal love? You love all beings, all of them. Now we've got this convention where everybody's saying this is out there, that's out there. So for us, when our indifferences, we kind of have a semblance of something's going on, and we have to love everything, right? And this is the mother generator for all aspects of all these subtle energies. Now, where did all this start? You look up your textbooks. Well, I started with Dr. Abrams, didn't I? What's the first one? Remember these guys? Dowsing. What the heck was all that about? You using your mind? What did Gordon do? What are we doing sometimes with our mind? We're purifying water. When I was in the mystery schools, we're purifying water. When you're in alchemy and you reach a certain level and you see a transformation, you have something special happen to you. And I'll share it with you. One emotion for 2 hours. Nothing else gets in. Nothing. Zero. Love. Freak out time. Party time. You cry, your heart shakes, and you just lean against a tree. Tree knows you're there. After that, I got trees talking to me, making dreams to me. Love, consciousness, dealing with subtle energies, radionics. Here we go. The initial training of radionic practitioners lasts for 5 years. Oh, how much time? Okay. Why so long? I was in a mystery school. A guy came up to me, a luncheon buffet, and he says, I want instant enlightenment. Get real. You got to work for it. You got to go through the grades like all of you have already. That's why you're here. We just don't walk off the streets and get this. The practitioner also measures the flow of energy. Flow of energy. So you see, our minds are expanding. Everything is happening at such a high rate. Something is really great out there. It's happening to us. Yes, we have our machines. Yes, we have the Houday, we have the X system, and they are, how would you say, our initiatory aspects. Yes, we do need assistance sometimes because we're scattered ourselves. We're not 100% perfect, right? Now, at this present time, I'd like to introduce you to the other source half, or the real source. The person that got me together on this, Sheri Kaplanski.
Thank you, Walter. We do have some information, and we have the products from the Mapperton available for your free trial, and also would be included in some demonstrations and further explanation in a workshop later if you're interested. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you all here again, and thank you for allowing us to come and speak with you, and also allowing me to come. I feel it's a very great honor to be able to share the music, because what you're going to hear from the music is always a reflection of the love of each of you sitting out there. I have a CD, which I'm going to attempt. I hope it's going to start, and I would like you to listen just briefly to this music, because this music that I'm going to be playing is the aura music of Major Gordon Smith that I wrote from across a hall about 200 feet away from him while he was sitting at a conference very similar to this. So I'm going to attempt to do that. Bear with me, please. Can you hear that? I called it Liquid Light. Now, if you imagine the very most loving, complete being that you individually could be, part of a collective of man, part of a collective of the entire universe, of which universal love makes everything that exists real. And without it, there's nothing. And so each of us carry this beautiful bright light. And we were all given a very special gift to bring into this world of very troubled times right now. Sometimes our gifts change. Sometimes we do one thing for a while and then our life is different. And so then we have to look to see what the new gift is that we have to bring. This life that we're living here is about one word: service. That's why we're all here. If you're not interested in that, you should have stayed home, because that's what life is really about. And we have this wonderful conscience, the wonderful God of the universe that keeps reminding us of it all the time. And we keep saying, why do these things keep happening to me? And it's because we forgot that we said we come here and give this service. It could be a smile, it could be sharing, whatever it is that we have to give in any way. And I'm not speaking from a religious sense here, but I'm speaking of a universal sense. In all of the people, I think we know that there's probably consciousness other than humans in this universe. I think we pretty much proved that. And the only way that we're all going to have a beautiful existence, a truly beautiful existence, is when we're all able to look each other in the eye and see ourselves reflected back. That's what it's all about. So I came here today to be able to share the job that I got, the music that I write, which isn't for me. I hear it all the time. I've been hearing it since I was 2 or 3. Everywhere I looked, and all of the people that I've talked to, all the things that I've seen, always wanting to put it into more harmony. The music's for all of you. That's why I have it, to give to you. And so I'm going to attempt to try to share some of that with you right now. Can I put this or put a mic on somehow here? No, they didn't. That's fine. Oh, I got a pocket.
That's just fine. Cool.
Thank you. I'd like to start by letting you hear something from very ancient times that's been talked about a whole lot recently, called the Circle of Fifths. Is anybody familiar with the term Merkaba or Merkaba? Now what that is actually, when you start this, is you start it with a center circle into which another circle is entwined. And so you have something that looks like this, okay? Now one of the problems that we have in society today is that we come together like this. So now you've got 2 ideas and 2 minds trying to struggle to get the point across. This is not going to work. And so if you have this, then in geometrics, where something's inside something like that, the center part where they intersect is called the vesica Pisces. And when that happens, this contains all knowledge of the universe. And this is the very center of the Merkaba. And so all of the geometry follows into the vibrational effects of things, follows the Fibonacci series, or the binary series. There's nothing in nature that doesn't follow that, and music is part of that. So when you get to the 13th tone, you come back to your original octave or go into a new octave. Now, I'm going to let you hear what this sounds like when I play it just in a normal sense. And then I'm going to let you hear what it sounds like when I bring it into a fifth above, playing it at the same time. And I think you'll like how it feels. And what this is actually like listening to the Merkaba, because it's going to go into every key. I didn't figure this out, and I didn't write it, Pythagoras did. I'm going to take this into the fifths, where I'm playing a fifth at one time. Can you hear the? Okay? So now we're going to combine the whole thing, and you tell me how it feels, because now you're going to feel what it feels like when they're all sitting on top of each other. It's kind of neat. And that's what our vibrations are like. Each of us has one vibration, and we pick up somebody else's, and we create a symphony. We create something beautiful. Isn't that neat? Could you feel that? Yeah. So what I do, besides being a composer, I also write music that's not from aura. That's stuff that I just hear myself. But actually what I do is a way of actually, I've been reading books to find out, to try to understand what it is, because I don't really know how it works, except that it's something called synesthesia. They have to give everything a name, and what that is more than the average sense, where anesthesia would be the absence of sense. And so I take your EMF waves or your auric field and convert it into music. And I don't have to think about doing this. I don't try to do it. If I tie my shoes, I have to think about that. That's much harder and a lot less rewarding, because you don't get the beautiful sounds and the beautiful music that comes from every person or every place that you go and the places that you're at. So first I'd like to pick out someone to do the aura of. Louise, would you come up? And just grab a chair in the front row, okay? Yeah, that's good. And I'm just going to show you sort of what Louise's music sounds like. Just relax. I want you to think about the pure, beautiful being that you are. And just let it radiate out. And I'm going to take that voice off because I don't think we want to hear Louise in fifths. That tells us a little about Louise. And Louise has a very flowing, beautiful personality, and you can feel that about her, can't you? Thanks, Louise. Now I'd like to pick out a male subject, and I think I'm going to pick Dean. I was talking to Dean on the phone, and I picked up his music from Illinois when he had called to find out how the situation was coming along with Gordon. And I could hear his music in the background, and I started playing it over the phone. And it's really beautiful, and I think you'd probably like to hear it. Yeah, it's fine. And I want you to sit back and relax. You know, there's got to be something incredible about somebody who can put up a conference like this every year. And you don't feel that, and you don't see it. You just see this gentleman walking around trying to figure out how it's all going to work. But, you know, there's an underlying something in him that he spreads out all around. He carries the sunshine, and, you know, he gives it to everybody, and he wonders why he's so tired at the end of the day. And that's why. And so this is going to be Dean. Just relax, okay? You can almost feel the flow of him and feel his ability to be able to, you know, to spread into different areas. You can feel the different things in his mind. He doesn't stay in one place, you know, because he's got all these things going on. It's hard for him to calm himself when he's doing all this. Is that right, Dean?
Could I add something to this real quick? When Sheri did me the first time, I was reading a sports page, and I didn't know she was doing me. So I'm going, you know, win, lose, boom, 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 staccato. And then I caught on, hey, what's this? And so I picked up a magazine. I'm reading an article about whatever. So the emotional drift that I was having about the article was one melodic line that was just in line with that article. And so I said, the heck with this. I got into an esoteric book. And I'm reading about that. Next thing I know, I went deeper into myself. So I allowed it to, and once you allow it more and more, here's what happens. It is unobtrusive. You know, like hypnosis, sometimes you have, this guy's going to hypnotize me. No, you're letting it, and you know it's not going to hurt you. And it's going deep inside you, and it's showing you who you really are and showing you places that you haven't touched in a long time. Excuse me. Thank you.
I love you, dear.
I don't know what other people felt, but I felt it going right through me. That's the way it felt.
Thank you, dear.
Enormously relaxing.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you're a very beautiful being. And I think it's very unfortunate that we think that this facade here that we see most of the time is all that we are, because that's a very, very, very understatement. This is a projection of what we might be. That's all that it is. The real spiritual beings that we are is what we're waking up to, and that's the most exciting thing I can think of. What do you think? Don't you think so? And any way that we can be able to allow ourselves to become more aware of this reality of who we really are, we should do that. And that's why when Dean asked if I would come and do this music, I said I would come, because I figured if I could bring just a little bit more light into your perception of who you really are, then the purpose for my having come here would have been served. So that's why I feel very grateful to be here. I need a volunteer from the audience, and I want it to be somebody I don't know, okay? Yeah, right, you're close, right there, yes. Joanne? Yeah, just sit there, that's fine. No, I've never met Joanne. Of course, you know I know Dean, and you probably figured that I know Louise, and I do, but Louise came all the way from Houston, Texas to hear me play, and so I wanted to play Aurora because the last time I met her, I didn't have a keyboard, and I felt very bad about that, so I wanted to do that. Plus, she's got nice energy. Okay, I want you to think, Joanne, about how relaxed you can be, and then imagine, as you close your eyes, who the real you really is. I want you to really see yourself, taking away any kind of limitation that you think that you might have in this life, because that's all illusion. And try to find and feel the reality of actually being that higher self, that person, that connection, that gift that came here to serve and help all of us, okay? I'll stop there. She's got beautiful music. She's kind of liquid lighty, isn't she? You feel those beautiful little droplets of light. Thank you. Did you feel that? Yeah. What I'd like to do now is play something for you that is very new to me, that I've been writing, and share it with you. It's my own work. And then, as I'm doing that, I'll let you know when I want you to start relaxing and just getting into a very peaceful place so that you can feel the energy that comes from each of you. This is called "The Stars Are Out Above Us" to light up the night. I'm beginning to go into the group here. You send the love out to all the people here and let it continue out of the building into the city, across our country, and around the globe. See all the people everywhere. They're all little kids inside, just like you and me. See, it's circling the whole earth that we live on, and send it out now even farther. Just let it go. It's unconditional love. You don't have to get your feelings in it, just send it out there. Let them know you're here. Send it all the way out to the edges of the universe. And now go inside and feel that connection with the Creator that we all have. Bring it back here. And let yourself feel it. This is all the things that we all are. We're a great big, beautiful ball of light. Yeah, it's really true. Open your eyes. Wake up. Feel good. They got me crying. Thank you so much. That was it was a beautiful experience for me, and I hope that all of you benefited from it. I know that you did. We will be offering a workshop tonight if anyone's interested to go a little further in this, and also to be able to show you the effects of how this affects your aura when you're on a chakra imaging machine, and actually show you how the colors change, or on the Mapperton machines that we have with us here. If you're interested in free trials on them, we'll have them available. If you're interested in individual aura music, I can do that for you too. And what I would do is put it on disc, and then I'd be able to mail it back to you. I didn't want to talk about any of this before because I hate mundane things being mixed in with spirituality. I just don't think they fit. And I've never been a material girl. It just doesn't happen, you know. So I feel like I'm very light right now. And I hope you all feel that way too. If you're interested, we have a couple of tables we'll be setting up in the back later on. And if you have any questions, we could take a couple of them now if you'd like.
Oh, before that, Dean, what's for the convenience, where can I lay this form out if they want their free treatment? Free transmission. Good God.
Yeah, you're going to be in big trouble.
I know. Yeah, what I've got is a large form and that with people's names on it. Oh. And you know, it's one sheet, yeah, table.
Yeah. We could probably put that over at the main sign-in table, couldn't we?
Anything on those corners there? You know, outside by the screen? There's nothing
Yeah.
there. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just,
okay.
yeah, that's fine.
So that's where it's gonna be, right up there, those sheets to sign up for the transmissions. And,
I want to
guess
take their
what?
questions.
questions? Trick questions?
Bye. Go put the sheet over there. That's good. Yes.
Yeah, the mic is ready.
The word synesthesia, as you know, that you experience has to do with the, seeing, tasting colors or smelling them or whatever. Do you have any of those experiences, or are you just seeing the aura and then just transmitting that into your fingers, let's say, or your... I'm curious about your process, if you can share that, if you're willing to.
I can't. I don't know how it works. I just do
You
it.
just do it, okay.
It's a natural ability. I've always had it. When I was small, I used to hear music everywhere. When I was a teenager, I used to sit in the tree and look out, and all of a sudden something would happen and I would hear this music. And I thought there was something seriously wrong, doing this, so I went and said, I went to the priest and I said, what's wrong with me? Why am I doing this? Am I crazy, Father? And he said, no. He said, this is, the rhythm of the universe. This is the music of the spheres you're hearing. It's real. And I didn't know what it was then. He said, don't do anything with it, he said, until you understand how it works. And I'm really glad I listened to that, because it can alienate you from people that you love because they won't understand what you're doing. So I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them at all until I met Walter. And Walter, of course, being the artist that he is, he would start painting. And he does something very similar when he's painting. He goes out there and he'll be in his painting for 2 or 3 days. And I can go in and, talk to him, and he doesn't even, hardly even hear me. And he doesn't know he's hungry, and he doesn't know he's tired unless I walk in the room and say, aren't you hungry? And then he's hungry. Or if I walk in and say, aren't you tired? But I really don't understand much about the process, except that I think that all of us have very special gifts that we ignore. And if we could look at the things that we think are second nature to us, that seem so easy that we're sure everybody else can do them, those are the places where your gifts are. That's where they're hidden. And if you look there, you'll find out that something that you can do, nobody else has any idea even exists. That's where it's at.
And I also just want to thank each of you for sharing your gifts with us today. It was really, really very special.
Thank you. It was an honor. Are we about? We have about 3 minutes.
Any more questions? No. You want us to go on for 3 more minutes?
Would you like to hear some more music? Okay, I'll play one more. Well, we have a question.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay. That's what you were doing. Yeah, we probably could do that. It'll come from you. I'll do whatever you send, okay? How's that? It's almost like we're feeling like it's just touching everything and everyone. Just expanding. Like a big ball of light just covering everything. Thank you. Thank you for your love.
Thank you very much, Walt and Sheri.